The Indian selection committee has managed to surprise the entire cricket fraternity and its fans like me with the selection of the women's squad for the ICC Women's World Cup and the ODI series before that happening in New Zealand in February and March later this year. Definitely agree with the move that the selectors made by retaining a lot of players who have done very well in the tour to Australia and even the women's challengers happening recently in India as well. Let's take a look at the bowling department first. We have a heavy pace attack. Understandably, the World Cup is happening at New Zealand, so we can expect a lot of swing movement. We have Meghna Singh, the pacer who takes the ball away. We have Renuka Singh who takes the ball in. We have Jhulan Goswami and Pooja Vastrakar who can be very useful and nippy with her bouncers as well. Concerning the spin department, we definitely have Deepti Sharma, Rajeshwari Gaikwad and Sneh Rana. The ideal bowling combination for India will be the 3 pace and the 2 spinners attack with vice captain Harmanpreet Kaur being their 6th bowling option as they have done in their foreign tours in the last 2 years. When I saw the bowling department for the first time, I spotted one prominent name missing. This Shikha Pandit. As we all know, she is a very experienced bowler and can definitely bring the ball in, and her banana swing is her biggest advantage. We all know that we have very open grounds in New Zealand, so there will be a lot of wind blowing across and swing will definitely be there for the taking. Also, she had done a very good job in the recently concluded T20 World Cup in the death overs in Australia. It will be interesting to see who pairs up with Jhulan Goswami to bowl in the death overs, as India will definitely be missing the experience of Shikha Pandey. It is a very harsh call in my opinion. Let's now move to the batting department. We have the regulars Smriti Mandhana Shefali, Harmanpreet Kaur, Yastika Bhatia, Mithali Raj, Deepti Sharma, Richa Ghosh and Pooja Vastrakar playing the role of an all-rounder. Again, a shocking omission is the name of Jemimah Rodrigues. In the Women's Big Bash League that concluded recently in Australia, she had scored 333 runs at an average of 27.75 in 13 games, and in the 100, she was the second highest scorer of the competition with 249 runs in just 7 innings. One argument going on social media and between fans is that Jemimah Rodrigues has not been very impressive in the ODI format, but in my opinion, form is definitely form and it matters over format as well. If we take a look at men's cricket, they have format specialists. But when you again come to women's cricket, they don't play so much of cricket when compared to the men. So I feel should go with current form over format specialists. Yes, format specialists can come in, but in few years' time. If I take that argument that the squad has been picked only based on ODI performances, Jemimah Rodrigues in 2019 in India's tour of New Zealand was fantastic as an opening partner to Smriti Mandhana. In 3 innings, she had scored 93 runs at an average of 46.50. Again, going by the same argument over formats, they have missed out another player as well, Poonam Raut. Poonam Raut has been in fantastic form in ODI cricket for India in the year 2021. In 6 matches, she had scored 295 runs at an average of 73.75 with 100 and 250s. If going by the ODI logic, Poonam Raut should be there in the squad as well. The 2022 Women's World Cup is similar to 2019 Men's World Cup with all teams playing all the teams before the knockout stages. So India plays 7 league games in the first stage itself. It never hurts to have experienced players in the squad as it's going to be a long tournament. All said that and done, this might be India's starting probable playing. Smriti Mandhana, Shefali Verma, Yastika Bhatia, Mithali Raj the captain, Richa Ghosh, Harmanpreet Kaur, Pooja Vastrakar, Deepti Sharma, Jhulan Goswami, Renuka Singh and Rajeshwari Gaikwad. Going forward, as many experts like even Snehal Pradhan had said, it would be better if the selectors come forward and announce the squad in a press conference, because we would like to know the reasons behind the inclusion and the exclusion of certain players. Again, the squad overall, apart from the shocking exclusions, is a very batting heavy, and we also have a few exciting talents in the mix as well. I am 100% backing the Indian girls to bring the cup back home. What about you?